If you are struggling to get your family fed and keep your grocery budget in check without losing your mind, then you need to watch this video. It's 2024, and thanks to insane inflation at the grocery store, the USDA now estimates that I need over $300 a week to feed my family of 5. And that's not even the high grocery budget recommendation or the moderate grocery budget recommendation. That is the low budget recommendation for a family of 5. But don't panic. I'm gonna show you how I get it done for a lot less. And you don't have to spend hours in the kitchen making your bread and your beans from scratch. You don't have to painstakingly pore over your meal plan trying to figure out how to utilize every single grain of rice. I've done the work for you. I'm gonna show you exactly what I purchased and how I used it to make delicious, easy, nutritious meals for a week for my family on the cheap. I shopped at Aldi for this video, but I planned this meal plan using the Walmart app. So even if you don't have an Aldi in your area, you might be able to make it work by shopping at Walmart. And everything that you are seeing here is going to feed my family lots of different breakfast options, lots of different lunch options, 6 different dinners. So basically a week's worth of meals for my family. And I spent $150.09. So feeding my family of 5 for around $25 a day is not too shabby in my book for 2024, and it's a whole lot less than the USDA says it's gonna cost. So let me show you how I'm getting it done. Yesterday was my shopping day for this meal plan. And on days when I do a big grocery shop, I try to keep dinner really easy because by the time I get the shopping done and get everything home and put away and organized, I'm usually just kind of over it and want something super easy. So I just picked up a take and bake pizza from Aldi. We love these, they're delicious, they're cheap, they're like a little over $7 and they are huge. One pizza will feed my family. Everybody gets 2 or 3 pieces at least. And then I chopped up some of the veggies and I made just a really simple veggie dip from the sour cream and a packet of ranch dressing mix. And I just mixed it right up in the little sour cream container. And that was it for last night. I am chopping up my other bell pepper right now because I'm gonna add that to the leftover veggies I had from last night because we're gonna have those fresh veggies and veggie dip again with tonight's dinner. And I'm gonna get my griddle out and we're gonna make some grilled Italian sandwiches. I've got my griddle nice and hot. It's ready to go. I am using this everything sourdough. When I planned out this video, I was using the Walmart app to plan it, and then I decided at the last minute to go to Aldi instead, and the specialty breads at Aldi are a little bit more expensive, so I picked this one up because it was $1 off. It was reduced for quick sale. I have some melted butter here in my cup. I'm gonna put that on one side of the bread. I am a person who likes to assemble the sandwiches just right on the griddle. Boop. This is a jar of just plain old pesto. I'm gonna slather some of that on here. I took a package of pepperoni, a package of salami, and a package of ham, and I actually diced mine all up. I'm gonna use half of it tonight and then half of it in another recipe for tomorrow. So I'm just gonna put some of that on my sandwiches now. Provolone cheese. Just a little bit more pesto and pop that on top like that. Then a little bit more butter before I flip it over to the other side. Oh yeah. I just picked up a bag of chips to go along with these sandwiches and the veggies and dip. Super easy, plus I've already done some of the prep work for tomorrow night's dinner. We are not huge breakfast eaters in this house, so instead of prepping a bunch of breakfast burritos or making a whole bunch of pancakes or something like that, I went for a really easy grab and go fend for yourself breakfast option for this video. This is something I do a lot when we're hosting family or friends in our house as well. I will get some ready to eat or easy to fix breakfast items. In this case, I got some breakfast bars. I got some packets of oatmeal. I also got a box of my kids' favorite cereal. Of course, we have fruit too to use as well. I've got bread and peanut butter for toast. And I will put all of that into a basket and just leave that out on the counter, or I'll, put it in the pantry where it's easy to see, and then everybody can kind of fend for themselves for breakfast. It is February here in Oklahoma when I am filming this. And even though it's typically cold in February, we're having what I like to refer to as a false spring. This happens occasionally. We have really mild temperatures for a few weeks and then it gets cold again. But since it's been warmer, I thought that a salad sounded really good this week. So we're gonna use the leftovers from the Italian sandwiches and a few other ingredients to create a really yummy Italian pasta salad for dinner tonight. Right now I've got my romaine hearts soaking in cold water with a little bit of vinegar. I usually let them soak for about 20 minutes and take them out and either let them dry or chop them up and put them in my salad spinner. I also chopped up 6 string cheeses and added that to the rest of my Italian meats from last night and the cooked pasta. And I made up a little bit of Italian salad dressing. I used about a half a cup of olive oil and a quarter cup of vinegar, and then about a tablespoon each of Dijon mustard, honey, and garlic, minced garlic. I also have lemon, so I threw in the juice from half a lemon, put that in my Ninja blender, and it's ready to go to dress the salad as soon as the lettuce is ready. I'm realizing that the bowl I started this out in is probably gonna be a little bit too small. So I'm gonna go ahead and dress the greens, and then I will mix everything else in, the pasta and the meat and the cheese in, kind of mix everything around and hope that it will all fit in here. Yay! It is gonna fit. I took the rest of the bread from last night and buttered it and put a little garlic, salt, and Parmesan cheese on it, and I popped it underneath the broiler so we can have garlic toast with the salads. As soon as that's done, it'll all be ready to plate up, and I am hungry. This looks and smells delicious. I cannot wait to dive into this. I'm only using half of my box of pasta in the salad tonight. With the other half, I'm gonna add to it the leftover pesto sauce from the sandwiches last night, stir that all together. I'm gonna pop it into the refrigerator. My oldest daughter loves pesto pasta. She likes to heat it up and put it in her thermos to take for her lunch. So she's gonna take the pesto pasta for the last few days of her lunch this week, along with some other things, and take care of those leftovers for us. I always try to include some kind of dessert or some treats in these budget meal plans so that you can know that even when you're on a tight budget, you can still have the fun stuff. And I saw this really intriguing idea on Pinterest. I'll leave it linked in the description box below for a box brownie upgrade. So we're gonna give that a go tonight. And first things first, I need to make the box brownies just according to the package directions. I bought eggs, I have vegetable oil, so I'll mix that all together and get them in the oven, and then I'll show you how we're gonna finish those up. My brownies just came out of the oven, and while they're still hot, you're supposed to poke a bunch of holes with a toothpick. Okay, this would probably go faster if I use 2 toothpicks, right? Boop, 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 boop. I mean, can't let it go to waste, right? Hot, hot, hot. And then you pour over the top of it half of a can of sweetened condensed milk. Okay, I'm totally eyeballing it. I don't even know if that's half the can. It might be a little bit less. But if you're wondering what to do with the rest of this, I'm probably gonna be putting it in my coffee. Sweetened condensed milk, just a little bit, really good in coffee. And then sprinkle half a bag of baking chips, like chocolate chips, over the top. I chose the butterscotch chips because I'm just not a huge fan of like super duper extra chocolatey stuff. I thought doing the butterscotch chips, it would, you know, give it more of like a caramely type flavor. It smells amazing. And we're just gonna let those cool down. The heat is gonna help melt everything together, I think. And we'll serve those up here in a little bit, give them a taste test for you. McKenna has graciously volunteered to be my brownie taste tester. So go ahead and take a bite, McKenna. Let us know what you think of the brownies there.
Very good.
Really good? They smell amazing.
Man.
It's like a cross between fudge and a brownie. Super, super soft, really chewy, really rich. Really glad I went with the butterscotch chips, not the chocolate chip, but so good. Definitely worth trying. I would give this a 10 out of 10. 2 thumbs up for me. What about you, McKenna?
2 thumbs up by far.
2 thumbs up by far, she says. Today's video is sponsored by Pair Eyewear. I have been working with Pair for the better part of a year, and I get compliments on these glasses all the time. They're offering 15% off today, so stay tuned. I need corrective lenses to see, but I want glasses that are both functional and stylish because they're on my face. They're one of the first things that people notice about me. So in addition to having glasses with corrective lenses, I also want them to function kind of as as an accessory. But it's not like we're talking about buying a pair of earrings or a necklace or something like that. I mean, having choices for style where lenses are concerned could get really pricey. That's where Pair comes in, because inside of their very stylish and affordable frames are magnets. So you can change up the style with just one little click. This pair is called the Otis, and I have it in blue. I get a lot of compliments on these blue glasses, but if that's not your vibe, the base frames come in lots of different colors, like black or pink or transparent or white or tortoise, like a brown tortoise color. And my favorite are the sun toppers, which make it so easy to go in and out of the house and to wear them while I'm driving without having to wait for transition or put like a bulky pair of sunglasses over my face. Pair offers a virtual try-on feature on their website, so while you are perusing all the different styles, you can get an idea of what they're gonna look like on your face. And they have so many different kinds of toppers, solid colors, patterns. They have licensed toppers like Major League Baseball and Marvel and Harry Potter. There's a link in the description box below that will take you to the Pair Eyewear website, and you can get 15% off your first pair of Pair Eyewear glasses with the code CMindyMom15. Again, that code is CMindyMom15. It's gonna get you 15% off your first pair with Pair Eyewear when you follow the link in the description box below. And thank you again to Pair Eyewear for sponsoring today's video. A few weeks back, I made a video with lots of different $5 dinner ideas, emergency budget meal ideas. And in that video, I asked you guys to send me some ideas for box stuffing mix. And so many of you said use it to make meatballs. So that's what we're gonna do tonight. I found a great deal on ground turkey at my Aldi. They had a 3-pound package for around $8. So we're gonna use about half that package in the stuffing mix and a few other things and whip up some meatballs for dinner. We're making meatballs, and I'm just sort of flying by the seat of my pants here. I have about 1.5 pounds of ground turkey in here, and I'm gonna add this stuffing mix here in a minute, and it's already seasoned, so I'm gonna go pretty light on the seasoning, but I'm gonna add just a little bit of Italian seasoning. I'm also gonna add a few teaspoons of Worcestershire, 2 eggs, my box of stuffing mix. I feel like I should crush this up a little bit, right? I'm gonna add just a little bit of this Parmesan cheese, like maybe 1/4 cup or so, totally optional. And I'm gonna start with just 1/4 cup of milk. I can add more if I feel like they're too dry. And now, just mix it all up. And then I'm gonna roll it into balls and put it onto this foil-lined cookie sheet that is right next to me. I'm gonna pop it into the oven to bake. I'm guessing it's gonna take around 25 to 30 minutes or so, but I'll probably use a meat thermometer just to check on the internal temperature, especially since we're using turkey instead of beef. I was able to get 24 large meatballs from this batch, like enough for everybody to have 4 or 5. I don't even think we'll eat that many. I'll probably just have 3. They're pretty big. And I threw some potatoes in the oven so we can have baked potatoes with butter and cheese. I'm gonna chop up the zucchini and saute that, and that'll be it for dinner tonight. Should be really tasty. I'm looking forward to it. Let's talk about lunches for this week. I have 3 school-age children that pack their lunch pretty much every day, so I did pick up just some standard school lunch packing items in this grocery haul. We have bread, we have turkey lunch meat, we have sliced cheese, there's assorted fruits and veggies, there's also some pretzels and some yogurt. So with those things, plus a few days worth of leftovers, because sometimes my kids will pack leftovers like the pesto pasta that I mentioned earlier, my kids have plenty that they can pack in their lunches for the week. I also picked up a case of ramen because this is something that's easy for anybody in the house, including my kids, to make when we are home for lunch. And there are so many ways that you can upgrade a package of ramen noodles. I did buy eggs, so we can use the TikTok ramen hack where you use a little egg and mayo and add that to your ramen noodles. Sometimes you can also utilize leftover veggies or leftover meat from other meals and toss that into ramen noodles or make a stir fry with it. So many ways to dress up ramen. My husband and I both work from home or in and out of the house, I guess. Our schedules are very flexible because we work basically for ourselves. And so we are often eating lunch from home or at home. And many times that's leftovers from meals that we are eating throughout the week. But I also wanted to go ahead and do a lunch prep that will provide several servings of lunches for my husband and myself, since I am utilizing some of the leftovers in other dinner meals this week. I just made up a box of plain couscous according to the package directions. I seasoned it with a little salt and some butter. And I am also gonna toss this bag of riced cauliflower in the microwave and then mix it all together. Over here, I am just browning up the rest of my ground turkey, the portion that I did not use in the meatballs. And I've got a little bit of olive oil in here, and I'm gonna season it with a little bit of minced garlic and about a teaspoon each of oregano and basil, and then salt and pepper to taste. I'm also gonna add just a little bit of Worcestershire, a few teaspoons, because I actually prefer ground beef to ground turkey. This will give it a little bit more of a beefy flavor. Here is my lunch bowl. I've got my seasoned ground beef, and then I have my couscous and riced cauliflower down there underneath. I have some chopped cucumber, and then I have some of this spinach and parmesan tzatziki. I always say this wrong. You know what I mean. And I have plenty of this to portion out into probably 4 or 5 more lunches, and that will supplement the leftovers and the other lunch options that I've already mentioned. We are a family that really likes our fruits and vegetables, and I probably spent around 25% of my budget on produce for this meal plan. And that is something that I feel comfortable doing because I already have a kitchen that is stocked with some basics. I don't necessarily mean food. I mean things like cooking oil, seasonings, condiments, the kinds of things that help cook and flavor our food. If I didn't already have those things, I would probably need to devote a little bit of my budget to stocking those items gradually in my kitchen. And I actually just made a video about this concept. I will leave it linked in the description box below. In that video, I shared how I would go about stocking my kitchen from scratch, about $10 at a time. So if you're interested in that, be sure to check out that video. It will have just come out right before this one, and I'll leave it linked in the description box. Tonight's dinner is seriously so easy. I've got a chuck roast going in the crock pot. It's a little over 2 pounds, and I just put that in my crock pot with, what did I put in there with it? Oh, okay. I put it in there with a few pats of butter, maybe a couple tablespoons total, and some minced garlic. And then I sprinkled over the top of it a packet of Italian dressing mix. And I also poured in 1 cup of beef broth. You could just use water if you're in a pinch. I've got that cooking on low, and I like to cook mine as long as possible, like 10 to 12 hours. So I got that going early this morning, like 7 or 8 o'clock. To go along with that, I'm just gonna make mashed potatoes. I'm just gonna peel and boil some of my russet potatoes, a little butter, milk, salt, and pepper. And I'm also going to make up some green beans and probably dice up a few carrots. And I was gonna put those in the crock pot with the roast, but I thought since I'm cooking it so long that maybe wouldn't be a good idea. So I will probably just put those all on a cookie sheet and roast them in the oven with, a little butter or oil, season them, salt and pepper, and roast those probably at around 375 for around 15-20 minutes or so. And that will be dinner tonight. Really easy, seriously, like probably less than 20 minutes of work total across the day for a really delicious dinner. It's Friday, we made it, woohoo! Well, maybe you haven't made it yet, but you will. Normally when I do these week-long budget meal plans, I plan 5 dinners because leftovers and because we usually get takeout or we're eating outside of the house. That comes out of a different part of our budget. But for this meal plan, I did plan 6 nights of meals because we're gonna have a movie night tonight at home. We're gonna watch Mr. Holland's Opus, one of my favorites. As a former music teacher, love that movie. And we're just gonna have nachos. I have chips, I have queso, we have shredded cheese left over from the baked potatoes, and we even have some leftover roasts from last night, so we can have like some beef nachos. Everybody can just make their own plate. And I thought I would also do some kind of like movie snack mix. We're gonna see what we can come up with. I picked up a big box of microwave popcorn, and we've been eating that as snacks throughout the week, as well as things like pretzels and peanut butter and leftover fruits and vegetables and yogurts that we didn't use for lunches. And my plan was to pop that and then use the Reese's and this cereal right here to mix in with it and make sort of like a peanut butter s'mores style snack mix. But as I was thinking about this, I decided to go a different direction. And for about the same price as the cereal and the Reese's, I can pick up some fudge stripe cookies and some marshmallows. These are actually from Walmart, but they're about the same price at my Aldi. So I think what I'm gonna do is break the cookies up into little pieces, pop the popcorn, and while it's still warm, sprinkle the cookie pieces and the marshmallows over the top so we can have like a s'mores popcorn snack mix to snack on during the movie as well.
Ooh, now it's healthy.
If you would like a free printable with my grocery list and meal plan from this video, follow the link in the description box over to my website, and that's where you can find that. And are you subscribed? Because if not, and you like this kind of content, you should totally subscribe because I make videos like this all the time.